Okay, my strategy today will be different from yesterday because we don't have time. Because I want to introduce to you how to develop self-control skills. Okay, and so if you want to know about self-control, what's in the Quran, what's in the Sunnah, you can read by yourself. Okay, so today, oh, that's my picture. Sort of like a leader, but not actually not a leader. I went to Bangladesh. They make me like a leader, but actually, I feel uneasy. Okay, what is self-control? Okay, if you refer to this verse, Surah Al-Imran, ayat verse 200, according to Imam Al-Ghazali, he says self-control is steadfast commitment. Or the word ribat, it's steadfast commitment. What we're going to do today is we're going to refer to his writing on self-control or steadfast commitment. Okay. But before that, so these are the objective, but I will cover objective, objective 1 and last one. Okay, what is self-control and how it relates to chastity, and how to enhance or develop self-control skills using Al-Ghazali's 6M. Okay, what is self-control? Okay. Self-control is our ability or the ability to restrain our own self from any strong urge or pull to act that defer the self from achieving our goals. Okay. So anything that pull us to go away from our goals, and then our ability to fight that, it is called self-control. Okay, and ability to fight our own urge, to fight incitement, seduction, it's called self-control. Okay, I have reviewed like hundreds and hundreds of research done on self-control, but mostly by Western scholars. They say that self-control is positively correlated with success. Okay, high self-control is positively correlated with success, but low self-control is positively correlated with all problems. Okay, so therefore self-control should be the aim of our education or the aim of our self-development. Okay, we need to have self-control. Okay, if you ever read Imam Al-Ghazali, he says that self-control refers to persistence in resisting temptation and in doing good. Sometimes we are not committed in doing good. It's also, we have no control of keep doing good. Okay, we did something good once and then twice and then stop because we have no self-control. And he referred in Arabic for self-control is murabata. Okay, he wrote a book. I think this is the book is coming from Ihya Ulumuddin. The title Vigilance and Self-Examination. Okay, in this book he wrote 6M of how to train ourselves to develop high self-control. Okay. And then chastity. Okay, chastity, because the title is self-control and chastity given to me, is a result of having high self-control. Okay, chastity is the result of having high self-control. Okay, what is chastity? Is a good virtue of being able to exercise high self-control to refrain our own self from being involved with immoral activities, or in Arabic word is ifa. Okay, so it is the golden mean. This is the between two vices. It is in the middle. It's golden mean. Okay, between excessive in animalistic desire, and also in withholding desire, no desire at all. So self-control, ifa is in the middle. Okay. Why do we have no self-control? Okay, before we go on with the 6M, I want to discuss why we have no self-control. Everybody, we have certain things in our life, in our personality, that we cannot overcome the problems that we have. Okay, if we have no self-control, we become impulsive. We have no self-control, we become impulsive. Okay, impulsive is a habit that we have because we have been doing it over and over again until it become automatic, and our akal has no longer control, meaning we didn't use our akal at all. It is impulsive behavior. When we become impulsive, we have no self-control. Okay. I want to give you an example, impulsive behavior. Let's say you're a student, and then your lecturer give you an assignment. Without thinking, you kind of wait until the last minute to do it, because you've been doing it for years. It become your habit, your personality. So you wait until the last minute. You don't think about it at all. Okay, because we become impulsive, procrastination become our personality characteristic. And this is when we lose our self-control. We are not able to control our own desire. So we wait until the end. Okay. In order to understand how we become impulsive, let's talk about human nature. Okay. If we read Suratul Baqarah, verse 30 and 31, this verse is about about Allah and the angel. The angel asks Allah, why do you want to create human being that's going to destroy the earth and kill each other? Whereas the angels, they always obey Allah. They always glorify Allah. And Allah said, I know, but you don't know. And then Allah taught Adam names of all things. And then, as if Allah said, okay, I will prove to you that human would not kill each other. So he taught Adam names of all things, and then they call Adam and Iblis together to prove that he knows. Okay? So from this verse, we can deduce that human has what? What is the human nature? Human nature first. Why we have this weakness? What do we have that we have this weakness? What?
We are hasteful.
Okay, why we are hasteful? Hasteful is a result of something that we have that. Okay, this is all result. Okay. Okay, what do we have that angel said this human will kill each other? Okay, very good. Okay, we have this desire. We have this. Allah create in us desire. But however, Allah provide something else. When Allah taught Adam names of all things, how can human be taught? They have what? They have akal. Very good. Okay, so this akal job is to bind the desire, so that desire will not go wild. Okay, we need desire, but we need to control it. Okay, what happened? We have to use our akal to control our desire. But if our akal fail to control our desire, what will happen? We become we okay, we practice that many times. We become impulsive. We don't use our akal at all. Okay, impulsiveness is when we don't use our akal. Somebody give you a cigarette, you take and smoke, no using akal at all, because it become impulsive. Here, impulsiveness, we have no self-control because we don't use our akal. Even though our akal say, for example, you fight with your akal, your akal say, no, don't do it. It's not good for you. You know, akal knows everything. But you don't follow the decision made by akal. Instead, follow the desire. Akal become weaker and weaker and weaker until you don't use it at all. So when you don't use it at all, therefore we have no self-control. Okay, now how to train ourselves to again have this self-control. Okay, so today we're going to do that. We're not going to go and look at how Prophet Muhammad, how the Sahaba, then I think you can read on your own. It's easy to read and to understand. But I think most of Muslim, the studies that I've referred to, that I've read, none of the Muslim have come up with skills how to develop our self-control. Okay, many studies shown that self-control is developed from young. Before you're 6 years old, you have this personality already, and they put the blame on parenting. Okay, if you are good in parenting, you will nurture a very good children with high self-control. But I kind of do not, and according to them, self-control is like it's set already. It cannot be changed. But I don't agree with that, because human can change. Okay, human behavior can change. Okay, human behavior is not static. When you develop that, then bye-bye forever. I'm in hellfire. No, okay. Because that's why Allah sent down prophets. And those who embrace Islam, they are at old age already, some of them. So meaning human can change. And then they change their behavior also, from savage Arab to very high people with high morality. So that's what I disagree with the Western scholars on this. So for me, self-control can be developed whatever age you are, but you need to have to fight within yourself your own desire. I always share with my students, because students they have this problem. First, procrastination. We know how students procrastinate when the assignment is really not good. Okay. And then they have this problem of sleeping problem, because they are into their phone. They love their phone so much, they are with them always, so they sleep late. Okay, so they have problem with gadget addiction. Okay. And it become their personality. It's difficult to solve this problem, and it affects their life, their health, their grades. So how to solve this problem? I said you need to, when your akal make decision, you need to follow your akal. If you don't follow your akal, you always follow your desire, you will lose. Your akal become weaker and weaker. And it's like a muscle. You don't use your muscle, it will be gone. Okay? So, as leaders, it's very important you have high self-control. then you have a very moral life. Okay. So now I'm going to go straight to 6. Yes? You want to ask question? Okay. Okay, before we go to 6M, let's look at our emotion. Why we want to do this? Because we want to identify our personal impulsive responses. If we know our personal impulsive responses, we can do something to solve this problem. Okay, the dimension of self-control is multi-dimension. One dimension is emotional regulation. Okay, emotional regulation. You have to know your emotion. Okay. Let's reflect for 2 minutes on your emotion recently and what triggers those emotions. Like emotion like angry, pity, sad, happy. Okay. Think of negative one. What triggered that negative emotion? And how do you, when you have this negative emotion, how do you respond to it? I think if you on social media, people like curse a lot in social media, and then when you read this, what is your emotion? How do you respond to it? Do you really right away, type something, curse them back, or what did you do? Okay. Okay. So I don't want you to reveal your own emotion. Just you reflect it, and identify how do you respond when you have these emotional triggers. Okay. But I will share mine because I'm an old person. When I'm young, I'm like you. But then when you are old, your pace is lower, so you don't trigger as much. Okay. So if I read something that's make me angry, in the social media especially, I don't respond right away. I come up with strategies of how I will respond. Okay, because if you respond right away, when you're angry, what will happen? You make a lot of mistakes. When you're angry at your children, you say something that you don't like, that you regret later. Okay, when you're angry at your friends, same thing. So when you're angry, you should be quiet. Don't say anything, because you will hate yourself after that if you say something. Okay. Okay. I will share with you my personal experience of how I was impulsive. I have 2 kids. Okay, I got married very young, before my undergraduate studies. Okay. And and then I have 1 kid, and then I graduated, and later and my 2 kids, and a boy is really, really naughty, and one day he took all my clothes, clean clothes from our wardrobe, and he put in the washing machine and put dirty waters inside. Okay, the whole. And then when I went inside, I saw, and then he took out, so it was all wet, and I was so very angry. And the way I responded is just the way I was raised. Okay, through my experience, I responded without thinking. I respond, and then I was like what happened to me? Why do I do this? Why I respond that way? I have to go to a lot of session to control my impulsive response. Okay, I think, and then I think of many situations that I responded like my grandmother, my mother, my father. if the same thing happen, it triggers the same thing. My response is like what my yeah. So I was like, but I know it's wrong. I cannot respond like that, and I really hate myself on doing that. So I want to know how. So later, I learned from Stephen Covey, okay, that between stimulus and response, you have to push the pause button, pause, stimulus, pause, and then respond. Not stimulus, right away respond. You will hate it. You will hate yourself because. Until now, I'm 61 years old. I still have this feeling that I feel pity for my son. Now he's 40-something years old, or 40 years old, my son is. I feel that, I did this to you before. But he forgot, he didn't know actually, because he was like only 3 years old. Okay. But inside myself, I feel that I have that. Okay. So we don't want to do this, inshallah. I'm going to share with you how Imam Al-Ghazali developed this self-control skills. Okay, this is Imam Al-Ghazali, the 6M. Okay, the book for this is free PDF from internet. The title is Vigilance and Self-Examination by Imam Al-Ghazali. Since I don't know Arabic, okay, so I don't know in Arabic what the title of the book. Okay. Number one is musyaratah. It's like you have to follow step by step. Number one is musyaratah, which means you set condition. You promise to your own self. Number two is muraqabah. Okay, musyaratah is before the act. So this is, you have to identify the act that you want to solve. Okay. Musyaratah, muraqabah is during the act. Muhasabah is after that. Muhasabah, self-examination. Mu'aqabah, self-punishment. Mujahadah, renewed striving. And mu'atabah, self-censor. This is after the act, after we did something. Okay. So, according to Imam Al-Ghazali, we have to follow this 6M to train our soul to have high self-control. Okay. How many days you need to train? 40 days. In the West, they have boot camp. Boot camp is 40 days because behavior cannot be changed if you don't do it 40 consecutive days. Okay, if you miss one day, start from the beginning. Okay, so that it become your personality characteristic, your habits. Okay, so according to Imam Al-Ghazali, you need this habituation. Okay. Okay, let's look at number one. Okay, musyaratah. We set condition to ourselves. We promise ourselves. Let's say we have problem of procrastination. Okay, we have problem because I think many students have this problem, like majority. Only I met like 2 or 3 students who are not procrastinators. They are always on time. You say, I want this page sent, always on time. Okay. Okay, so you have this, you have to agree with yourself, and then when did you make your promise? This every morning after Fajr prayer. You promise yourself every morning after Fajr prayer, today I will spend only 2 hours in social media. Okay. 2 hours. Okay. You promise yourself to spend 2 hours. And we have to reflect on our own self to recognize our weaknesses and set condition to rectify those weaknesses. Okay. Our weakness is we set 2 hours, but then, we go overboard. Okay, so you identify why you need, and then you have to plan what will you do to solve this problem. This is you promise your own self. Okay, you know that the hardest promise to fulfill is promise to your own self. Okay, you promise your lecturer you're always on time. Okay, I promise my boss always on time. But when I promise myself, I always fail. Okay, it's the hardest. Okay, if you can fulfill your own promise to your own self, you have high self-control. Okay. And then, okay, you set the promise, what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And if you, when you promise yourself, you promise also, if I fail, I will do this, this, and this. I will punish myself. Okay, you have to do that. Okay. And then muraqabah. This is during the act. Okay. You have to follow. You have to remember ihsan. You have to remember that God is watching you. Allah is watching every moment. Okay, Allah is watching you. So therefore you have this feeling that even though you don't see God, but God is watching you. And He sees you every time, even though you are like in a very secluded place. Then probably if we have this feeling of muraqabah, we use this every day, put in our mind, muraqabah. God is watching. I promise myself this day I will do this, this, this. God is watching. Okay. So this must be practiced always, that God is watching. Even you want to take something very small, you will not do it if you have this feeling. Okay. Long time ago, I lived in link houses, and then I was a housewife before. I did my PhD when my children all grown up. So our job is to do laundry and everything, and then I want to hang my laundry under the sun, and then my clothes pack is finished. But you know, link house, and then the next door neighbor, you can just, I want to take one. I took one from my neighbor. He didn't know that one clothes pack is missing, and I took and used my own clothes. And then I feel so scared of my life. And then I have to go back and put it back and I have to call my neighbor. I took one. Because I feel that even though he doesn't know, okay, but Allah is watching. You have to feel that scared Allah is watching. You took one cloth pack. I think he didn't mind if he knows, okay, for one cloth pack. But we want to do that, to have that vigilance, that muraqabah in whatever we do. Okay, we on social media, Allah is watching. Okay, you promise yourself, you have to fulfill your promise. Sometimes we are on social media is for good cause. Like for example, because I have really close relationship with Syria, so when they are freed, so I spend hours and hours reading, looking at video, at pictures, at what they say, the interviews and all. And my friends from Syria keep sending me videos, and I spend like hours and hours on social media, but looking at something that is good. But when you neglect a lot of other things, okay, that is also bad. Okay, excessiveness. Okay, I think only you can do that when you study. You can do excessive study. Okay. Okay. For other things, you cannot be excessive. Okay. So you have to have muraqabah. And then this is after the act. You have to have muhasabah, self-examination. Okay. If you read the book Secret. Have you ever heard the book titled Secret by Rhonda Byrne or something like that? Okay, it's very famous, the book. Many Muslim, but it has like a new age movement element in it. But they practice also the self-examination, muhasabah. They said at the end of every day before you sleep, you should think of what you have done. This is after the act. Okay, according to Imam Hassan al-Basri, a believer should reproach himself by examining his actions. Okay, so let's, for example, what did I mean when I said that? And sometimes we say something we really regret. Okay, what was the reason for the food I just ate? Okay, this is like, you know, when you read Imam Al-Ghazali's Ihya Ulumuddin, I think we fail as human beings because even food that is halal, he wants us to refrain from taking the food. Okay, too much. Okay, I feel like, oh my goodness, it's too high. Food, you know, okay, that we eat every day. For him, okay, why you need to eat this food? Okay. What was the reason for doing thing that I just did? Why we did that? We have to self-examine our own self. And according to him, the sinful one moves forward without any reproach, without any self-examination at all. And if you are in philosophy, self-examination can be very big also. You have to examine, why do I believe this? Why do I act the way I did? Why do I follow what my culture tell me to follow? Okay, you have to ask this question. According to Socrates, unexamined life is not worth living. You have to examine your life. You have to do muhasabah. If you tell yourself that today you will spend only 2 hours, then you have to do muhasabah. Whether you have done that, whether you are successful, if you fail, and why you fail. Okay, because you need to know why, because after that you can take action. Okay, this muhasabah. Muhasabah is like post-mortem. After the act, you go through success, why we are successful, and fail, why we fail to achieve our objective. Okay. And then mu'aqabah. What is mu'ain or mu'aqabah? Punishment. You have to have self-discipline. You have to punish yourself according to Imam Al-Ghazali. Okay, I use this from his book. Okay, so he really punished himself. Okay, he said, if you eat doubtful food, punish with hunger. If you eat too much, but next day you need to fast. Okay, and fasting is the best for your health. If you look at foreign men or women, forbid the gaze. Okay, if you touch unlawful things, and Imam Al-Ghazali said, put your hand over fire. Okay, I don't know whether this is good or not, but this is from his book. Okay, to punish yourself, and we can punish ourselves by doing good. We can punish ourselves by doing good. If we did something bad, give sadaqah. Okay, that's punishment. Okay, or fast. Okay, doing something good, because this is in the Quran says. Okay, I think Surah Hud, verse 114. They say that the good thing will wash away all the sin of a bad thing. Okay. So you have to have mu'aqabah. We have to have self-discipline. We have to punish our own soul. Okay. If we don't punish our own soul, then we like living freely, happily, and keep going with what we're doing. Okay. And then mujahadah. Mujahadah is renewed striving, is always striving. Okay, this is also after the act. Okay, we already know, we promise ourselves, we have muraqabah, but still we fail. Okay, we do mujahadah, with self-examination, we found certain thing that we fail, and then we have to renew our striving. We have to do mujahadah. Okay, here Al-Imam Al-Ghazali said we have to do good after we did bad thing. Okay, always when we did bad thing, do good after that, because it will cancel out the sin and then our heart will be clean again. Because if you read Imam Al-Ghazali, I think this is from hadith, that if we did something wrong, one black spot will be in our heart. If we have a lot of black spot, then our heart will be blackened. But this can be erased when we did good thing. So you did bad, okay, and then follow by doing good so that it can be erased. Okay. So for example, we give sadaqah, we will perform late, solat late. Okay. But if you miss solat, okay, you can qada if like you sleep, okay, you didn't wake up, overslept. Okay, it's okay. But this is like in the class, or you have nothing, but then you're late for salat. You're not late, you missed salat. Okay, so you have to repent, ask Allah for forgiveness, and also did something good. Okay, you have to do something good. And my student, since my house is only 3 minutes from this building, is 3 minutes from my house, so I always take 8 o'clock class every morning. And by 8:30, my students start to come to class. So class start 8, because I know they are on social media, they cannot wake up in the morning. And many of them, they wake up late and then they come to class without praying Fajr. Okay. We did a survey on this. Okay. Many. Okay. So I told them hadith about Safwan. Okay, and one day his wife went to see Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the wife told that Safwan always wake up late and always pray Fajr. Always pray Fajr. He prayed. Okay, after the sun went up already. Okay. So she's not happy at all with her husband's behavior. So the Prophet Muhammad SAW called Safwan, and then asked Safwan, your wife said this, and this, and says, okay, he said that, but in our family, my father, my grandfather, my grandparent, my parent, everybody wake up late. This is what Safwan said. Okay, he blames the upbringing, generation. And Prophet Muhammad said what? When you wake up, pray. So Prophet Muhammad said, when you wake up, pray. Okay, that is the solution. So I told my student, when you wake up, pray. Doesn't matter what time you wake up. Because that is how Prophet Muhammad solved the problem of Safwan. When he wake up, pray. And you notice that in this hadith, and you can Google find out, it's Sahih hadith, that Prophet Muhammad didn't ask Safwan, why you wake up late? You sleep late, you play games, whatever, didn't ask. But only give solution. Okay, when you wake up, pray. So it's really those students who feel like very guilty of, waking up late. They like a burden lift from their shoulders. Okay, now every time when I wake up, I will pray. It's okay. Okay, when you practice this like this, you will wake up early. Okay, this is solution given by Prophet Muhammad. Okay, according to Imam Al-Ghazali, beside doing good after you did something bad, we need to befriend good persons and try to emulate their behavior. Befriend good persons. Okay, that's why Prophet Muhammad SAW asks you to choose your friends. Don't befriend bad person. Okay, I read a book titled The Pure Intelligent Hearts. This is written by Professor Mushtaq, A Pure Intelligent Heart. Okay, the book is available in our library, I think. Okay, and he's a biochemist, a professor in biochemistry. He did a study. He said that if we take one cell, heart cell, from a person that beat, like this cell beat 60 seconds per minute and 60 beat per minute, and another one person, his heart beat at, the cell beat at 80 beat per minute. If you put together next to each other, one will follow the dominant beat. Let's say the one with 80 beat per minute, it's very dominant. And then the 160 is weak, so it follows. Both of them become 80 beat per minute. So he did this, and then he said that this is his study, experiment. If we pray and shoulder to shoulder with our friend and a staff, our heart will align with the best person. The beat, the heartbeat, will align with the best person. And our calmness will be aligned with the most calm person and or dominant person in that row. That's why you need to go and pray Jamaah prayer. Even though that person didn't do anything to you, their aura, their heartbeat will affect you. Their heart will affect you. And that's why you need to be among good friends. Let's go, your friend didn't say anything to you, but your friend every day woke up early and study, and then after some time you follow the behavior. Your friend didn't do anything, didn't say anything, just he practiced whatever he practiced every day, but it will affect our behavior. If you want to know more about what I have shown you, tell you just now, you find out, Google Pure Intelligent Heart by Mushtaq.
The intelligent and the pure.
And there is also by another person, I forgot his name, but I bought this book also. Okay, so because he's a scientist, he refer his book with studies from scientists and neurologists also. A lot of neurologists he refer. And you need to surround ourselves with good people that motivate you. That you can human being, they are social animal, meaning they live in society. We need friends, we need others. Don't isolate our own self. When we were with friend, good friend, not bad friend, because just now I told you that the dominant one will affect you. But if your dominant person is bad, you will be bad also, will affect you. So that's why if you are among the bad people, you will, even though you don't do it, slowly you become normalized with bad things. Okay, so it will affect you. So don't be with the bad people. Okay, you should surround yourself with very motivated people. And just let's say if you are doing PhD now, even though you don't have anything to say, go to meetings just to get the vibe, the motivation. Others are motivated, you become motivated. Seeing others are so motivated. Okay. And also we should study the Prophet, companions, great Muslims. Because storytelling is the best way to teach and to affect ourselves. Okay. And children like stories, adult like stories also. And stories, the way stories are being told, like affect our emotions. Okay, so therefore, even though nobody tell us a story, we should read the stories. Even though we have read the stories, read again and again, because every time you read, you will have something new. Okay, you will learn something new because your worldview now has expanded, and even though you read the same thing, your understanding will be different. Okay. I make this bet with my student. I say that if you know how to ask question, you can find new data from old text. From Al-Quran is an old text, 1,400 years ago. Okay, but if you ask different question to the text, you will have new knowledge. So I provoke them to them, and I prove to them. So you ask question and you will learn something new, even though from something that's old. People already read it many times. Okay, but if you come up with something new question, new perspective, you will learn something new. Okay. If I have time after this, I will demonstrate to you. But now we are going to the this is mu'a or mu'a? Mu'ataba. Self-reproach or self-censor? Why I have two mu'ataba? Okay. Okay. This is the last one. Okay, self-censor. Okay, you have to say, this is after the act, you have to say to yourself. Okay, this is like after you did that, you have to say to yourself. Okay, you know heaven and hell are in front of you, you're going toward it. Why do you reject heaven and why you go toward hell? You know our future is only one, that is death. Our future is death. What have you done, or what have we done to go to heaven or to avoid the hell? Okay, and why do we rejoice? Why do we be happy? Okay, so ask ourselves. And few nights ago, last weekend, I was invited by Ihsan Global, this one NGO, to give a speech about humanitarian aid, humanitarian help. Okay, being active in humanitarian. And they asked, okay, some people at that program, I was one of the panel, asked why we are not, why we don't do anything, why we are not helping, why we like ignore what's happening to Muslims, to other Muslims. We don't act. Okay, so I told them, because they don't see that death is their future. Okay, because they don't see that death is their future. So they don't care what happens to their neighbors, to other Muslim. They care about themselves only. Okay, because we don't see death, therefore we become very individualistic. That's why Prophet Muhammad said the most intelligent person is who? The one who remembers death. Okay. When we remember death, we would do something. Okay, because they question, like in the Western countries, like a few days ago in Sydney, we have like 300,000 people marching for Gaza. And so many doctors were killed in Gaza, so many lecturers, but no lecturer, even IIUM, didn't do anything like make a big fuss or demand the international, the UN, just to show your solidarity with your fellow colleague. Okay, especially there's so many lecturers in Gaza is coming from IIUM. They graduated here. I have many friends who are there. Okay, but we talk in our WhatsApp group only. We didn't make any huge hoo-ha outside. Okay. Yeah, quiet. Okay, so I see like people are not, don't care. They like despair. Like for example, we give money, but now thousands of trucks stuck at the border. So why we don't know what to do? So that's, I think they say, okay, I don't know what to do. Let's just ignore. This is because we are not flexible. We are not adaptive. We have to adapt, to find something new solution to solve the problem. Okay. And Imam Ghazali said, do you know that death comes suddenly? You have to ask yourself. Not young people, not old people died. Young people died too. Okay. And then it's so sudden. Like our colleague just passed away in Durham. She was attending this conference. Prof. Ros Aniza, just last week, yeah, from Kuliah of Economy. Okay, so we don't know. Okay, and have we prepared for death? Have you accumulated your wealth when you die? And not wealth here, wealth when you die. Prophet Muhammad said, whatever we eat, whatever's own, we own what? We own what we eat, what we wear. Everything else is not ours. Only what you give as sadaqah is yours. Okay, yours is what you eat, you wear, you use. It's yours, and what you give, it's yours. Okay. So I remember Rumi. He said that seek what is, not what appears. Seek what is, not what appears. Okay. What appears in front of you, wealth. You say you are wealthy because you have like $1 million in your bank account. But actually, it's just what appears to you. What reality is what you give. Your wealth is what you give. How many you give, it's yours. Okay? So ask yourself that. And procrastination. Why keep promising yourself to do it tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow? Why don't do it now? Okay? Why procrastinate? I think this is a major issue, not problem of you, problem of my problem also. I procrastinate also. Okay, and especially as, like at home mother now, I am retired. Even though I retired, I volunteered to teach 2 sections this semester, and also next semester 2 sections. Volunteer. That means nothing, just volunteer. And many students, they complain about these universities, about this university in IIUM online. You know, I've been all over the world. I'm a traveler. I studied in the US for 6 years. And the only place I want to be is here in IIUM. I went to many universities all over the world. Oh, see? So now I volunteer, teach. Okay. So you have to ask this question to yourself, okay? So that you can develop your self-control, okay? You need to do this, practice daily for at least 40 days until it become your personality characteristics, okay? In the Western world, on the Western epistemology, they have this notion, the separation between the knower and the known. The knower and the known. Okay. Meaning that what they know and their own self is separated. Okay. But in Islam, we learn something, we gain knowledge not just to describe that knowledge. Why we pursue knowledge? Because we want to practice that knowledge. Why we learn how to perform salat? Not just because we want to pass exam, but because we want to perform salat. So in Islam, the knower and the known is one. Our knowledge is our personality characteristic. Our knowledge is our personality characteristic. Okay, our knowledge is not something that we just deliver in classroom, but our personality characteristic is totally different from our knowledge. That is not Islamic. Okay, that's why Aisha, he described Prophet Muhammad's personality as the Quran, the walking Quran, because he practiced what's in the Quran, it become his personality characteristic. And we have, if we did that, then we have hikmah, we have wisdom. Wisdom is when you find out the truth, you practice the truth until you become that knowledge. You become that truth. Okay. So you learn this how many days here? Okay, not to write an essay, but to practice. So that your knowledge and you become one. Your personality is that knowledge. Okay. I think that's all. What time do I have? I want all of you, actually, but no need to share, because it's kind of your own thing with Allah. Okay. You need to think of your impulsive behavior that really bad, that you want to solve the problem. And then use at least 3 from 6 3 to solve this impulsive behavior. Okay, you can reflect by your own self after this, because I want to share something. I want to demonstrate to you, because I've just told you that if you are wise, you read many times the same thing, you will learn something new. Okay, just simple. The first revelation is Surah Al-Alaq, verse 1 to 5. I want you to reflect just first verse. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. And what is so weird about that verse? You have to look every verse as weird, okay, so that you can learn new thing. Read. Okay, that's not so weird. Okay. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord who create. Okay, what's so interesting about this verse? Okay, this I use this technique from Imam Al-Ghazali also. Okay, I read a lot of his book. He wrote a book. I mean, it's all coming from Ihya Ulumuddin, but people make it small book. The title of the book is 99 Beautiful Names of Allah. Okay. So I give you clue already. Okay. And he said at the introduction of the book, he used logic to write 99 beautiful names of Allah. What's so weird about this verse is, for me, it's weird. Okay, for me, it is very weird. Because every day we are being taught from young, in Malaysia, you go to Islamic school, from young, your parents teach you, when you say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, you say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. But the first encounter between Prophet Muhammad SAW and Jibril is Iqra' bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Not Allah, but Rabb. But not Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, but Khalaq. For me, it's weird. Why Allah introduced himself the first time as Rabb who create? So I have this question to myself. And then I tried this for my student. Nobody sees this Iqra' bismi rabbikal ladzi as real. Only me. Only one other person. I think he's now finished his PhD already, this guy. Okay. With UTM. For me, it's weird. Why Allah so I question myself why Allah introduced himself as God who create. Why? Why not Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim? Oh, it's 99 other beautiful names. If you learn logic, this is in logic. Okay, Imam Ghazali solved this problem. As if you learn logic, there is something called every conclusion has consequences. Every conclusion has their logical consequence. Okay. So if you say Rob create, therefore you can conclude that God owns, right? Therefore God has knowledge, knows everything. Therefore God governs because he created. So you can come up with all other beautiful names of God by just God who create, using your logic only. And I did the practice with some ustaz I train of some school. They say, no, we cannot. I said, no, just try. Okay, so they try and they come, oh, we can. They say, okay. So this is like, I want to, okay, just prove to you that if you ask different question when you read old text like Quran, you can come up with new knowledge. In fact, I wrote a book last year on Tadabbur Al-Quran using in philosophical inquiry method. Okay, thank you all for paying attention. Okay, all the best to you. Hope you practice what we learned today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.